Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cryptid Cocktail Party, a show where we have a few drinks, share a few laughs, take a dive into the unknown. I'm your host Dave, joined as always by my wonderful co-host Sarge. How's it going, Sarge?
Snow everywhere. My whole neighborhood is fucking buried.
Well,
hell yeah.
I woke at 4 a.m. to shovel before the rain started. So I'm real punchy right now. Let's go.
Okay. And joining us on this week's episode is a very special guest. We have Ed Larson from Last Podcast on the Left and The Brighter Side. How's it going, man?
What's up? Everything's great over here. 75 and sunny. I was deciding whether I'd wear a sweatshirt or a t-shirt today.
Rub it in.
Just got back from the farmer's market. Went and shopped outdoors and had a lovely time. It was great. I got some squash. I got some fish. I got some ground turkey. Trying to live over here. You know, we're doing our thing.
Fish from a farmer's market.
Yeah, man. Sorry about all the snow.
It's okay. Sorry about all the fire.
It's fucking, it happens. What are you going to do? We threw a couple benefits. Things are good. We're going to cure fire AIDS soon and everything's going to be fine. And, I'm not really.
I have to go out to California in a couple of weeks. I work for a company and we have an office out there. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about the market difference of living in New England versus living in California. And they're like, oh, we have a bag that we keep if we have to evacuate.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we do that too, but it's just like a bag with like rock salt and a shovel in it.
Yeah. It's just, and liquor. Yeah.
Well, of course.
And brass knuckles. Oh my God. We played Medford, Massachusetts recently. Which is right outside of Boston. The home of Jingle Bells, which I learned.
Is it? I had no idea.
Yeah. But my Citizen app got switched. I don't know if you know what that is.
When I moved to Philly from New England, I downloaded it.
Oh my God. It's like literally it went from like random LA, like, people in the walking down the street in protest to it was every day. It was like fist fight in the street. It like got an accent, it was like man attacks other man with hammers,
fist fight by the donkeys.
Yeah. The Citizen app is hands down a game changer. Like when I first moved to Philly, I downloaded it immediately, and the first notification I got was man walking down the street with a katana, and I was
man.
It's like fuck. I knew I moved to the right city. These are my people.
Yeah, LA, it's lots of machetes. I don't think the katanas are, attached to the walls as like a presentation.
Yeah. No, don't use that. That's a decorative katana. Here, just my machete.
This is what we kill people with.
Yeah.
It's good and dull. You'll love it. The machetes also too cheap. They're just like $15.
You can go Walmart and buy a
it's. I think we need to up the price for everyone's safety.
Fuck gun control. This is all about machete.
I have woods behind my house, and so it often grows into my yard in the springtime. So I bought a machete, and I was like shocked at how cheap it was. I was like, "This is great!
Oh yeah,
I can have like a ton of these."
Yeah, I'll take 6.
Yeah, dirt cheap. It's like
this is my woods machete. This is my grilling machete.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we asked this to every guest, and I feel like I probably know the. But are you like a cryptids guy, Ed? Like, is this something that you? I know you're friends with Henry, so you've probably been talked at length about them. Not so much.
Yeah, I think they're a fun thing. I love them. I don't necessarily believe in them, but I do love the idea of them, and I think they're hilarious. I think if I had to choose my favorite, it'd be the Jersey Devil.
Just because, really?
Yeah, it's the only Italian cryptid. It's like I'm gonna eat your cats over here. So I'll be right back. I gotta check on the sauce.
Just wearing the thinnest of gold chains at all times.
God damn it, Ma! I gotta eat some chickens. Stop fucking bothering me.
That's amazing.
Luckily for you, this episode actually isn't going to cover very many cryptids, if any at all. So I was actually having a really tough time coming up with a topic for this episode because, like, I tried to look into some like crazy ass folklore, some weird ass shit from around the world, and everything I started researching was pretty boring or way too in depth that I was like, this would be like a 5-part episode. I can't have Ed, do that shit.
Yeah.
So actually, I think I came up with a pretty good idea, and the inspiration actually came from you. So
yeah,
I realized that in like the 2+ years or so that we've been doing this show, with the exception of the robot flowers of Dade City, we haven't really covered anything out of Florida. So
yes.
So today, I thought what we'd do is we would take like a little tour of Florida and cover a couple of the weirder myths, legends, folklore, and whatever to come out of that state. So some of them you might be familiar with, others you might not.
I know the one that smells bad, the swamp,
the skunk ape,
skunk ape. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
man. I went to middle school with him.
And I thought it was only appropriate because we do have a Florida legend with us right now. You were the largest baby in Florida at one point.
Biggest baby born in Florida, baby. That's right. Fucking number one. I am untouchable except for the people who beat me afterwards.
I was almost exactly 3 pounds heavier than I was. And my nickname when I was little.
So you were a big ass baby.
Oh, I was a huge fat baby.
You were 12 pounds?
No, I was, you were 14. I was
14
like
pounds, 13 and a half ounces.
Yeah,
so I was almost
right.
15.
Put some respect on his name. Come on, man.
Hell yeah, man.
No, I was just a fucking cannonball when I came out.
That's awesome, man. Hell
I was also 3 weeks late, so I was really like, I was growing extra. That's really the problem.
Learning to walk while inside the womb. Jesus Christ. That's fucking big, man.
And my first words were meat. I want more of it. Grind it up. I had my first cheeseburger in fucking 3 months, man. I was like,
full set of teeth when you were born.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, right out of the hospital. I was like, I'll take a Philly cheesesteak whiz wit, you bitch. Like, how do you know where Philadelphia is? Like, that's crazy. Yeah.
And then you unroll a map. Well, I had this with me.
Yeah. So you all ever listen to the Allman Brothers, man? Just rolling a joint. Just like, whoa, this kid's crazy.
Now, one would think that Florida, of all places, would be riddled with like cryptids, monsters, terrifying folkloric beasts. I mean, the setting for it is fucking right there. You got swamps, forests, lakes, the ocean, fucking just like the local population in general. But I gotta say, there's really not much going on there as far as like cryptids and folklore go. Like, you got the abominable swamp slob known as the skunk ape, which is whatever, just a smelly, mud-covered Bigfoot, so he can immediately go fuck himself. There's also like a big hammerhead shark that's been spotted between like the Everglades City and Tampa Bay that the locals lovingly call Old Hitler, which
I mean, how? Why would they call him Old Hitler?
Apparently he was spotted by spotted by GIs that came back from World War II when they were fishing like in Tampa Bay.
Okay.
So they called him. So, and then one of the things listed on the Florida folklore Wikipedia page was something listed as which, after looking into it, turns out it's just a racial slur for black children. So,
Jesus
God
Christ.
damn it.
So I don't know what's going on down there. Florida's fucking wild.
Yeah, man, that sounds awful. It's one of those things that should be kept a secret.
I don't know why. I don't know what about that constitutes folklore.
Good thing we didn't tell a mass audience about it.
Yeah, man. I tell you what.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. It's the thing when you go down to the Everglades, man. I don't know if y'all have ever been down there, but like everyone's so fucking sunburnt and shit. You can't even tell what race they are until they start saying racist shit. It's a nightmare.
But they take off their hat and their head looks like a Tylenol.
Oh, you're like, oh, okay, you're that.
Yeah. Well, needless to say, it did take me a minute, but I was able to find some actual weird shit that I think is worth discussing. And they're kind of ranked in like order of like least weird, so this is going to get pretty fucking wild. So the first Florida story I have to share with you is actually a conspiracy. It's a very specific and very localized conspiracy, and that is that the invasive species of insect known as the lovebugs were actually created in a lab at the University of Florida to help combat the mosquito population.
Really?
Yeah,
because love bugs are fucking everywhere my whole life. They're like, as far as they're two big bugs that just like kind of like constantly attach each other to each other, and then they're just big and stupid, and they just end up all over your windshield. Okay. And they're harmless. They don't bite you or nothing, but they're like they call them love bugs because they're always like they look like they're constantly fucking, but they're not. You know, I think they're just attached to each other. But
it sounds like a polite Victorian way of saying you've got crabs.
Yeah, well, there's
the love bugs.
Oh yeah. Well, why don't you go ahead and trim off your love bugs before you come to bed?
Yeah. Yeah, from what I've gathered, they're kind of like the Florida version of like we have lanternflies in Philly. Like I don't know if you're familiar with lanternflies. They're
fireflies. Yeah.
No, not fireflies. Lanternflies.
Yeah.
Like, they're an invasive species from like China or Japan, something like
There's
that.
There's a dumb fly that bangs into your lights.
Yeah, they're useless. They don't do anything. So love bugs are kind of like Florida's version of that. Well, apparently the theory goes that supposedly in the 1950s, the University of Florida, the same people that brought you Gatorade, they were working on like a natural predator solution to mosquitoes. There's a lot of still water in Florida, so stands to reason mosquitoes can be
fucking everywhere, dude.
Yeah. So what the scientists in these labs did was they created an experimental and genetically modified bug that would attack and kill the male mosquito population, which in turn would slow down the reproduction rate of all the mosquitoes. So there's no dude mosquitoes, no baby mosquitoes. That's just fucking science, guys.
And they have electrolytes, so.
Well, apparently, before they could like fine tune their little science experiment, a couple of these fuckers escaped or were set free, depending on the story being told. And from there, reproduced and spread like crazy, leaving Florida with not only a bunch of mosquitoes still, but now just like a fuck ton of useless love bugs who aren't even doing the one thing that they were created to do in the first place.
It's weird how much this story aligns with the history of my family. Just big, dumb people that are constantly reproducing.
Oh, yeah. And then, but, you know, do they get killed easily, too? Because that's...
No, thankfully, we live forever.
They're just a plague upon society at this point.
Yes, that would be an accurate way to describe my family.
That is the thing with Florida, man. It's like the perfect ecosystem for like anything to live forever.
Yeah, you've got like the crazy pythons everywhere now.
Oh, dude, everything's different even from when I was a kid. And also, I mean, I'm going to shamelessly plug my show. My tour is called Invasive Species.
Oh, really?
I'm doing
That was completely unplanned.
Yeah. My tour, I'm coming in. I'm doing shows in Florida in March and May, and I'm calling the whole tour Invasive Species. Ed Larson Tours Florida. Yeah, man. So that's good. Yeah. No, because it's crazy what's happening down there. Like everywhere you look, where I grew up in Boca Raton, Deerfield Beach, that area, South Florida. There were no iguanas when like there were like
really?
We would occasionally see one or two maybe, but they're fucking everywhere now. They're like just like statues of them now. Like it's crazy what's happening.
Well, that's
because
when it gets cold, they just fall out of the trees.
Oh yeah, man, they do, and they fucking as soon these Florida people, man, they're smart as hell. They start like chopping them up, putting them meat on Facebook Marketplace. You know, you can buy that shit down there. Oh, I'm sure it's great.
I've seen, if it's anything like alligator, I'm sure it's fucking delicious because alligator fucks. Man.
Alligator is really
alligator is very good. They call iguana the chicken of the trees.
The chicken of a slightly higher elevation from regular chicken.
All right. Well, we all find a good conspiracy fun, and this one, I guess, has started around it was like in the 1960s. This one started. This is nowhere close to being true. In reality, love bugs migrated from Central America and were actually making their way along the coasts of the Gulf of Mexico, America, for a while.
Oh, Jesus.
Please, can you? Yeah, come on, show respect.
Sorry, don't. I don't want to get banned like the AP, you know.
No, yeah, that's true.
But they were making their way up along the coast of the Gulf of Mexico, like for a while before even reaching Florida. In fact, Louisiana first discovered they were infested with love bugs 30 years before they even showed up in Florida. But yeah, so that's it. That's the conspiracy theory known as the Lovebug Conspiracy. I don't know where it came from. It sounds like something that you like overhear in like a small town dive bar. And then someone just ran with it. Like, that's the kind of theory this sounds like, for sure.
Well, you know, if there was like a weird invasive bug up here, someone would be pointing a finger at MIT. So, like, it kind of makes sense. Like,
that's true.
Like, okay, yeah, well,
the Irish.
MIT did it.
That's the thing. Well, the people hate the University of Florida. Unless you either love University of Florida or you fucking despise it. You know, if you live in Florida. So I feel like they're like, oh, them nerds up there, they brought the love bugs. You know, like they've been playing with their science in the tubes. And the bugs are everywhere now. They're trying to kill mosquitoes. Mosquitoes ain't getting killed. You know, that's what it sounds.
It sounds like some just bitter and fucking like, old man ranting about some bullshit that he heard. That's
these goddamn college kids and their fucking mosquitoes.
Do it. Learn a trade.
Yeah.
Join a union. All right. So the next stop on our trip around Florida takes us just west of Daytona Beach to the wooded banks of the Tomoka River. Now, there isn't anything actually like fucked up or super weird in the river. It's actually a sanctuary for manatees, so that's kind of nice. This is about what goes on.
Is that like just a nice term for New York people who go to Florida in the summer?
Manatees.
Just the bald ones, yeah.
But this is about what's going on in the surrounding woods. The river's fine. You can go in it. It's cool. Actually, I don't know if you can go in it. It's a sanctuary. I didn't look that part up. But either way, so what is going on in the surrounding woods is what you may be asking yourselves. Well, local legend has it that a seemingly sentient pink mist forms that is said to consume the flesh of any living creature unlucky enough to be trapped within it, leaving behind only the bleached bones of its victims. This is the story of the Carnivorous Pink Cloud. Is this something you've ever heard before, Ed?
I've never heard of it, but it definitely sounds like a chemical spill went wrong.
Yeah. This is like the beginning of Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Kind of,
like a truck crashed.
It's so, from what I've gathered, the story goes that beginning sometime around 1955, hunters and fishermen who frequented the area started to report that they were seeing a strange, thick, pinkish mist that seemed to just form seemingly out of nowhere. They also said that the mist appeared to have the ability to move on its own no matter what direction the wind was blowing, almost as if it like were alive and thinking on its own. Not great, but it gets worse. The pink mist is also said to have some sort of corrosive property to it. Like anything that got caught within it, animal or human, the mist would strip them of their flesh, leaving behind only the bones. And some of the carcasses and remains that were discovered after the mist had rolled through that weren't fully, quote unquote, consumed by it were described as appearing to have been melted as if they were half digested. Now, people even reported seeing this in action. Like they would see an animal or something get caught up in the mist, drop dead, and then they would witness it start to like dissolve right in front of them. What?
Are we sure this isn't just like an off-brand cotton candy flavored vape cloud?
Yeah.
Like somebody went to a gas station just outside a carnival and shit got sideways.
Yeah, man. I mean, how are you going to stare at like, oh, that mist is fucking killing these people, these dogs, and like you think it's like just going to not affect you? Like no one has witnessed this unless they're in a hazmat suit. There's no way anyone has seen this.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, over the several years that the fog was in action, roughly 10 years or so like 1955-ish to 1965-ish, it was actually been blamed for about a dozen or so mysterious disappearances, as well as multiple instances of unidentified human bones being discovered in the area.
Okay.
I feel like this is just an allegory for them being afraid of gay people.
I don't know what that means. Fuck.
It's just like,
what do you?
Well, yeah.
No, sorry. Flesh that idea out. I want to know where this is going.
I know what he's saying. Gay people got pink farts, and they think that.
I'm just saying, like, it's like just These like old timey people that are terrified of gay people. And so they come up with a story to get their kids to avoid pink stuff.
Yeah.
But
don't wear pink, Clock Jr. It'll eat your skin.
So like I said, it's been blamed for about a dozen or so mysterious disappearances, as well as multiple instances of unidentified human bones being discovered. And it's not just humans and animals that get fucked up by it. It's said that the bark is stripped from the trees, brushes dissolved. It basically just pretty much decimates any living thing that it comes in contact with.
Not too far off from my own farts, to be honest with you.
All right. Jesus Christ. Now.
Yeah, it's all that Narragansett making them farts.
Nothing farts like Narragansett.
No, according to local folklore, apparently, like everything that's awesome in the world, this all stems from a Native American legend that traces all the way back to I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, the Timucuan people. The Timucua peoples were like the indigenous peoples who lived in the region of Florida and Georgia, I believe. And they were like the largest indigenous tribe in the area.
I mean, the Seminoles.
I just letting you know what I researched and what I learned.
Okay, all right.
Don't come at me.
I mean, if they're
all right.
I mean, they're bigger than the Seminole.
Well,
I mean,
Dave, have a banana. Your potassium levels are low.
Eat my dick. All right, so,
it's an old vaudeville thing. If you take a banana for the road, man, you always make sure you have a banana before you go on stage, so you don't cramp up there.
There you go.
It's a real thing.
There was. I didn't know this at the time, but there's some logic behind what I said.
Well, yeah. So the Timucua peoples, being the indigenous peoples who lived in the region before us whites, kind of, fucked it all up for them. But the legend goes that Chief Tomkey committed what was considered by the tribe to be a bit of a whoopsie. Apparently, he stole a sacred golden cup and used it to drink from a spring that was said to have had healing and protective properties. This led to pretty much all-out tribal warfare. Basically, every tribe in the region wanted this man dead. Safe to say, he kind of fucked up, but he pretty much got through like this whole like war like unscathed. That is, until a lovely young maiden by the name of Olita shot him through the heart with a poison arrow before she herself was shot and killed by a poison arrow. And apparently, it's not really clarified. This, for some reason, cursed him to wander eternally in the mist and just fucking fuck shit up with it. I don't know. It's all very weird. But yeah, so that's the story of the Carnivorous Pink Mist. And
all right.
So you never heard this before?
I never heard of the Pink Mist, but Daytona is like one of the few areas I never lived in Florida. So that might be their whole bullshit up there. The thing is with Florida, there's so many scary things that are just like real. It's like no reason to make stuff up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, trying to find like research things that are like like mythological or folklorish or cryptids. Like, no, they have real shit to be worried about. They're not fucking making up weird shit to talk about that be like what would that even be? Like, you have alligators. Don't go by the river. There's an alligator. Like, why the fuck?
Alligators fight bears in Florida, it's like fuck your squonk, or your skunk ape, this bear smells bad. Yeah, well, thanks. That's the worst you got. Everything smells bad. It's the humidity, man.
This is so many valid points right now. Now, for our final story, we're going to be heading to Northport, Florida. And in researching the story, I found that Northport, Florida seems boring as fuck, dude. And I found out that some people there believe that a sinkhole in the middle of the park is actually the fountain of youth. And I think that's dumb. And they should feel bad about themselves for thinking that, because that's pretty stupid. But
I feel like every small town in Florida is like, oh, we got the fountain of youth. This is where Ponce de Leon showed up.
I don't know. Apparently Northport thinks they have the fountain of youth because a sinkhole is there.
Where is Northport? Northport. Oh, it's not. It's in the middle of Florida too. It's below Sarasota, so it's not even that north. And no way Ponce de Leon's making it on the west coast of Florida. Yeah, that's a long trip. He ain't going up in there. That's some lost ass Spaniard right there.
That's what I'm saying. They should feel bad because it's dumb, and they should not think this at all. But just because a town is lame doesn't mean that every once in a while some really unlame shit can't happen there, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Well, lucky for us, in 2009, some really unlame shit did happen when Vietnam vet Michael Rowley and his 16-year-old son Shane became the victims of what I would call shared delusions of mental illness, but others have called what they experienced the Northport Devil. So this story is fucking bananas. It's got everything. It's got tall grays, lizard people, cloven-hooved flying beings, UFOs, and dragons.
So this is like Alex Jones's Narnia.
Yeah, but I think,
dude,
I'm pretty sure DeSantis put all those things in the Florida Constitution. They're going to be on the new flag, I believe, so it's fine.
Amazing.
So their story goes that this father and son duo moved into their new home in Northport in April, I believe, of 2009, and shit just like immediately got fucking weird. So
wait, this is 2009?
Yeah.
The Vietnam vet with a 16-year-old son in 2009, he got started late.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that's not his sperm.
Thanks, Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
So their experiences started out light. Your typical strange lights in the sky above their home. Shane started saying that he was seeing some weird, like aliens wandering about in the backyard at night. Just normal Florida shit. Nothing like too crazy. But not long after that, Shane claimed he was woken up in the middle of the night to see a 10-foot tall, big-eyed, bulbous-headed gray alien with unnaturally long arms standing outside his window. He said in an interview with an investigator, quote, "I just woke up and saw this big, tall, gray-looking dude. The full moon was on him, so I could see everything about him. I could see his skin. He was very tall, about 9 foot, 10 foot," end quote.
Damn.
So that's weird.
Definitely weird. Definitely weird. Yeah.
But this encounter gets a lot weirder. So according to Shane, as he was like staring out at this massive bulbous headed fuck just standing in his window, he noticed a second creature. This one, he said, was a scaly reptoid with a rounded heart-shaped head, and he was just kind of like crouching down, posted up against the trunk of a palm tree and bobbing his head from side to side. Now, this encounter only lasted about 5 minutes, or Shane thinks at least. He remembers seeing the entities, and then the next thing he knows, he's waking up in his bed in the same position, but has no like recollection of falling back asleep. And as we know from numerous alien abduction cases, missing time is like one of the staple side effects of being abducted.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe he did just fall asleep after being abruptly woken by a 10-foot tall alien and a reptoid out his window. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be very conscious of what's going on.
Yeah, I feel like I'd stay awake.
Maybe it was just an Agent Orange flashback, and it's just like.
No, this was the son.
Okay.
It could be passed down through DNA, probably. Who knows?
I mean, we're still learning about the effects, so maybe he's got some fucking.
Hell yeah, man.
Either way, I love Shane. This kid is like. He's super nonchalant about his encounters. He went on to tell the investigators, quote, "They kind of show up when they want. You get used to them, but it's weird to see them walking around the woods with those big eyes," end quote.
Damn.
So I say the same thing about my kids all the time.
I think it's actually kind of beautiful because most people in Florida would just shoot it, and so the fact that, that he's like down and just like let it be, I think that's very progressive as far as like Floridians go. Cause
Now, compared to Shane's father, Michael, Shane had it pretty mild. His father apparently was also being plagued by an entity, a flying red-eyed cloven-hooved beast that kind of sounds like he's just describing the Jersey Devil, was said to have been harassing Michael. He said the creature was, quote, "It's about yay big with pure deep red eyes, and it just looked at me for a second. I haven't seen the wings, but I knew he flied," end quote.
I love that he's just like this grizzled old Vietnam vet being mercilessly harassed by his kid's like, Dad, I don't know what your problem is.
I've never, I just choosing that something flies when you haven't seen it fly or its wings. It's just like, it's such a bold thing.
I assume
like,
he flies.
That thing flies. Yeah.
I just, my favorite part is that he didn't say I knew it flew. Is I knew he flied.
Yeah.
I don't think that's. he even made like plaster casts of the beast hoof prints, and there's like apparently there's some video footage of the alleged events that happened around the home, but the evidence is iffy at best. Actually, the plaster casts that he took, we'll get to it in a second, but he fucked it up by putting his hands in it, so it was clearly manipulated by. Like,
Yeah.
It's not great, but
this is some Dale Gribble level bullshit, right here.
Yeah.
Dude,
Boil some Mountain Dew. It's gonna be a long night.
dude, it gets worse. So, on May 19th, 2009. Now, this is just a month after all this has happened over the course of a month of them living there.
Yeah.
The father and son decided to get in contact with MUFON, who sent over an investigator by the name of Morgan Beale to figure out what's going on at this house. You know, they would come over, they would, examine the claims, interview the witnesses, typical MUFON shit. Now, apparently MUFON did uncover some things that they decided needed further investigation, but it seemed that Michael wasn't really too keen on the idea and was obstructing their ability to do so. In the report that MUFON put out, it says, quote, based on the analysis of the witnesses' account, photographs, video evidence, and footprint plaster casts, it is in the opinion of the field investigator assigned to this case and MUFON that the events as accounted by eyewitnesses is unexplainable, and the unusual occurrences that took place at the aforementioned address warranted further investigation. However, events and communication between Mr. Michael Rowley prevented MUFON from proceeding with said investigation, end quote. Now, why would he block any further investigation? I don't know. Seems kind of suspicious. Like, dude, you called them. They didn't just show up at your house randomly and start interviewing. Like, you asked for this.
Yeah.
Like, why would you deny?
It's one thing I know about MUFON. It's really the only thing I know about MUFON is they love to get money. So I bet that these motherfuckers like, we gotta run this test, but you gotta spend this, and that. And these guys like, what the fuck? Get the hell out of here! I'm not giving you. MUFON is like they're very obsessed with getting paid.
But also, the one thing I know about MUFON is that they're not very biased. Like, you could tell them any story. They're like, oh shit, what fucking really?
Yeah.
That happened to you? No way. Like, they're not like
they never disagree.
They're
They're like, no, that's not possible.
No, they're like, oh shit, yeah, dude. Fucking we'll investigate this. Now give me like $400. And then,
See, I didn't know that you had to pay MUFON. That ruins it for me.
Oh, if you want to join MUFON, it's really expensive. It is like,
if you want to join MUFON, yeah.
Yeah. It's
but like, you call them to like come and investigate. You're doing them a favor. They have to do zero research. They just have to show up, and then they'll like pay me.
Also, I have no idea that that's what they do or not, but I'm just saying I wouldn't put it past these cheap motherfuckers.
Oh, okay.
It's more of me accusing them than me knowing anything in particular.
I just love the idea of like this grizzled old vet, and like MUFON shows up and is like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. You got it.
But like, you can't be mad at them for showing up. You called them. Like, why block them from doing the one thing that you asked them to do?
Probably some shenanigans with MUFON just being,
But whatever the case may be for it, the family, they continued to report strange encounters. It got to the point where they avoided even leaving the house after dark. And they definitely didn't go outside when it was the full moon, because that's when the creatures are more active, allegedly. But just because they were slowly becoming like prisoners in their own home, that didn't stop Michael from believing that the creatures came in peace and that they were actually there for a good purpose. At least that's what he thought at first. Now, not so much. He did like a little 180 on that position once a new entity entered the chat. And according to several emails sent to different MUFON investigators, as well as Michael's own website, northportdevil.com, which is no longer active.
I was literally like, you saw me like going with my fingers to the.
I know, it's a shame.
I was hoping it was like black background with green writing.
Yeah.
It was definitely probably like an Angel Fire site for sure. That had the most aggressive
GeoCities
coloring.
finest.
Now, he and his boy are now having to deal with their entire neighborhood being full to the brim with people who seem to have the ability to transform into dragons.
Ooh.
And he really seemed to have a problem with one neighbor in particular named Paul. Now, according to Mike, this neighbor Paul had been trying to befriend his son Shane, and apparently Paul liked to spend an inordinate amount of time smoking on a street corner, just waiting for his chance to transform back into a dragon, which is his true form. And I don't know which of these accusations is worse, like as the grown man trying to befriend a child, or the fact that he's a dragon with like a violent nicotine addiction. Like I don't know which one's worse to be accused of.
I mean, he never has to look for a lighter, so that's good.
Yeah,
that's fair. In one of the emails he wrote to MUFON, he said about his neighborhood, quote, "I have a concern I need you to understand. I think my whole neighborhood are dragons. One neighbor, not Paul," he specifically makes sure that this is not Paul, has a dragon sticker on his truck.
Oh,
I've read a lot about dragons.
dead indicator.
Yeah, dead. He's got him dead to rights.
Yeah.
I've read a lot about dragons. They can be friendly if you keep their secrets. Remember when I first talked to you, this creature jumped on our house. I know you think I'm a little loony, but this is my assessment.
Just a little.
They leave us alone now, but what will happen to us if they get mad? I have exposed their comfortable neighborhood. All of my neighbors are friendly now, but what if I expose them? I don't think they would like you exposing them either. Now they leave me alone. What happens after the photos are digitized and cleared and published? Am I going to be clawed to death? End quote.
Oh, God.
No one's going to see it. I'm very surprised that you found it, Dave.
This is amazing.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to have any idea. This guy's just like, he's ready to like accuse anyone of being a monster. He's just like, oh, you got a tiny mustache and your eyes are wide apart. Are you Hitler Hammerhead? You know, like.
I don't want to get too deep into the details here, but can we all just feel bad for Paul the Dragon? Because you've got like dragons like Azeroth and Grimfrost, and then it's like, I'm Paul.
Yeah. You know, this isn't.
I feel bad for the actual human named Paul that this man is just accusing of being a dragon, trying to, like, but also not actually. I don't feel bad for Paul. He's trying to befriend a 16-year-old. That's fucking
also
wild.
2009. Isn't that right when that alien movie named Paul came out with Seth Rogen?
Oh, right.
The weed smoke.
No, that was way later than that.
Was it?
That was
No,
way
it
later
had to
than
be like,
that.
I think it was like, I honestly think it was like 2009. It was, hold on a second.
You know what's wild is I actually kind of fuck with that movie. I like
2011.
2011.
Okay, 2011.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
so
all right,
close
so
enough.
yeah, so okay, no relation.
So far we got aliens, reptilians, the Jersey Devil, and dragons just ruining this family's life. Like how could this get any worse, right?
Well,
you got a theory yet?
no, I'm excited. I didn't know there was another thing coming. You know, I actually the real problem here is definitely mental health, but we'll get to
you know. I think we solved the case.
Did I not say that did I not say that up top at the beginning of this
I want to call
segment?
MUFON and just clue him in. They may not know.
Yeah. So how could this get any worse? Well, why don't we just, bring in the devil, the Mayan doomsday prophecy, and the lost planet of Nibiru in on the action? And he's got some good theories about all of it.
I hate
on the homepage of his website.
I hate when idiots read. It's just like, just don't. You're so stupid. Just don't read. You're not gonna read the right shit. Just
dude. The amount of websites that I've had to visit that are just purely like neon green font on like a bright red background is
that really what you need to read? Like, is the white background too much
to find this? Like, to find this shit. Yeah, I got it. It's not great.
Yeah.
That's why I got glasses. These are new. I haven't had to wear glasses before.
The 2 years worth of research you've had to do with this show has blinded you.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Now, on the homepage of his website, he wrote this quote. Now, everyone listening should remember this is 2009, 2010 timeframe. So this is way in the past. Now, he said, quote, in December 2012, it is reported that the Earth is going to switch poles due to the planet Nibiru passing close to Earth. It is totally going to turn upside down, but it can't be December 2012. The Mayan calendar created by Satan to tell the time of his demise is off by 4 years. More like October or November 2016.
Whoa.
Nibiru is real, and the dragons and reptilians and UFOs at my property are real. The Northport Devil is real. Is the devil. He is also known as Leviathan, the Crooked Serpent, the Dragon, end quote. So,
all right.
I don't. The only thing about this that kind of makes sense is that I remember the 2012 thing, but I also do remember. I feel like there was a doomsday thing with billboards and stuff in 2016 saying the world was going to end. Was there?
Well,
not?
that's when.
Did I make that
was
up?
when Trump became president the first time. Was November 2016. I'll tell you that much. And that's just across the other side of Florida. You see it. It's kind of a dragon. He's got shitty eyes. Who knows? He's always in the woods chipping away at golf balls. He
is kind of the physical embodiment of Paul the Dragon, like lackluster in almost every respect.
Oh my God. It was a rough time, 2016.
I now understand why he goes to Florida all the time. He heard old Hitler was there.
Yeah.
He just thought it was the guy.
Yeah, he's gonna be in his cabinet. Yeah, he's the new minister of education. Yeah.
No, that's actually Linda McMahon. Fucking bananas.
I know,
dude.
yeah.
Did you see,
literally?
Did you see Triple H in the fucking? He was in the back of Linda McMahon during the Senate hearings, and he took a sip of water and he almost tilted his head up to like spit it out. Like you can see like a.
Oh wait, not now.
Like,
I forget. Yeah. No, it's probably not a good idea. Yeah, I'll wait. Oh.
No.
She's literally like she's like the queen of head injuries, and she's the Department of Education.
What's gonna happen when she visits schools? Like Triple H is just gonna be body slamming teachers, throwing janitors across the cafeteria.
Oh my God!
To be fair, when I was in school in New Hampshire, knowing that Triple H is from New Hampshire, if Triple H showed up at my school and started body slamming teachers, I'd be fucking hyped as fuck.
Oh
dude.
my God! You kidding me? He would have won everyone over at my school too. We would have loved that,
dude. D-Generation X came and just started telling people to suck it, dude. Fucking hell yeah,
God.
dude.
Comes in.
I knew a kid who actually got suspended for doing that on stage. He was running for like
the
class president or whatever in middle school, and he did the.
Hell yeah. That's all. That's a winner right there, man.
Fuck yeah, brother. No.
He did not win the election.
Now, after this whole fucking spiel about Nibiru and all that stuff, there isn't much information about what's been going on with Michael and his son Shane. Like I said, the website that Mike ran, northportdevils.com, is no longer active, and I couldn't find any blogs or anything that he may have ran, but there is still a YouTube channel, and it's called Northport Devils that I'm pretty sure is his.
Hell yeah.
It's got over 100 videos. Almost all of them are less than like a minute long, and it's just videos of someone videotaping a TV, like an old tube TV with like a glass screen, like a curved glass screen. He's videotaping a TV while it plays video evidence that they themselves recorded.
That's awesome.
Instead of just like uploading directly. They haven't posted anything in about 9 years, but about 12 years ago, they started posting about how Quetzalcoatl, the Mayan god, was buzzing around outside of their house. So that's cool. But yeah,
these guys sound like sound like maybe they discovered ayahuasca and just never looked back.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's more like the dad, and this is kind of like that movie Bugs situation. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I think it's Ashley Judd and someone else. The guy convinces her that there's bugs everywhere and they live in like a tinfoil house now. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, I think the son kind of got out of it because I think it's mostly just Michael at this point who's suffering from some sort of breakdown. But I don't know. All the information and sites I could find, like they just stopped updating about the goings on in Northport and this family. So we're gonna have to call this one here and say that it's an ongoing story.
Yeah.
But according to one source I found, it seems like Mike and his kid don't regret moving to Northport. Mike having been quoted as saying, quote, "Well, I'm retired. I thought this is where you're supposed to go. The only bad part is the aliens around here," end quote. So
He's like, I mean, there's dragons everywhere, but the property tax is very low.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
But man, there ain't shit going on in Northport, man. I'll tell you that much.
Amazing.
it's boring as fuck, dude. I tried to find like every once in a while, like I was trying to find like something interesting about a town that we're talking about. This is the one time where there's the sinkhole that people think is the Fountain of Youth, and I think there's like a museum. That's about it.
A sinkhole is not a fountain of youth. It's literally a sign of the world dying. It's like
If you look at the bottom of the sinkhole, there's just like old TVs and washing machines, like shit people tried to throw out.
oh my god.
What's funny is that like on TripAdvisor, so TripAdvisor will give you like interesting things to do like in a city, and it'll give you like things in the actual, and underneath it, it'll give you like nearby stuff that's interesting. So the two things in Northport were like the sinkhole and like some like jewelry store or whatever. And then nearby, the second best thing to do was a Citgo gas station. So it's not like ideal. It's not.
Hell yeah, man. The Citgo.
Well, it was to be fair, it was the deli inside of.
Oh, well, yeah. No one like good Jewish deli inside of a Citgo. Everyone likes that like, pastrami on rye with the little regular unleaded.
Exactly.
The sinkholes are all over Florida, by the way. They're fucking everywhere. We used to always go to this one in the middle of the woods outside of Tallahassee. And it was fun. It was really cool because you can like climb up in the trees and jump like 30 feet into the sinkhole.
Hell yeah, dude.
And the sinkhole was so deep, like no one knew exactly like how deep it was. I mean, and then one time the FSU sent a diving team down there, and the entire sinkhole is like lined with trees. You know, it's thick, but they found a fire truck in the sinkhole, which makes no fucking sense. Like it makes no sense whatsoever because like there isn't a gap in between trees wide enough for a fire truck. And so like everyone's so confused why there's a fire truck in the middle of this sinkhole right outside of Tallahassee.
That is insane.
Yeah.
That's a mystery that I need to look into because that's fucking hilarious.
It's really
shit,
cool.
Dude.
I like that every state has like a hole that people jump into to swim.
Yeah.
It's like up here we had the quarries for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And people would like push cars in there, and that's where you dump all your shit. And kids around here, like that was like a badge of courage. You would jump into the quarries. I was too young. I never got to because they filled them in for the big dig.
Yeah.
But you would hear all the time about a kid.
Still going on. still under construction.
It's done now. It's done now. But as long as you
Is it though?
Big
you
Doug
avoid
now.
like one or two of the concrete tiles falling out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Because it was put up there by a guy who lives exclusively on Bud Light, you'll be fine.
Dude, I fucking worked in Worcester, Massachusetts for a year.
Holy
and
shit.
I was in
I am
this
so
like
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I was in this warehouse where it's like store fixtures, like shelving for stores. That's what they sold.
Okay.
And there was one dude who worked there who drank an entire cube of Bud Light every day. While he worked, he would go out to his car and bang like 3 out and then come back and and he drank 30 every shift. It was, and he like normal. He didn't seem drunk.
Yeah.
Like he didn't fucking, it was crazy. He got his job done. Like it was, I never seen anything like it. It
A
was
30 rack of Bud
That's
Light?
called functioning alcoholism.
Control.
Like that is. But there you have it. That's our tour around Florida. Ed, how you feeling about it? I know.
This is great. I need this information for my Florida tour coming up. This is exactly what. Thank you. I appreciate
You gotta go find the sinkhole.
Yeah. I'm now gonna do a Northport show to tens of people. I'm so.
It's it's one of those bars that has a fence around the stage.
Yeah.
Like the one from fucking Roadhouse, just fucking people throwing beer bottles.
Oh yeah, I
at
ask them where the mic is. They hand me a megaphone. You know, it's just like,
Or it's like one of those little microphones you give to a kid that just echoes.
oh yeah.
It has a tape, the fucking taper thing.
Oh man, this was lovely.
shit.
I actually haven't heard of any of this stuff, so it's really fucking cool. I only knew about the skunk ape, and I knew of love bugs because they're just torturous. And you'd occasionally.
But did you know about the conspiracy theory
I
behind?
never heard the conspiracy theory, but it makes someone had to explain why they were fucking everywhere and swallow them occasionally. You definitely if you. Oh yeah, because they're you're just happy as hell riding your bike with your mouth open. Fucking next thing you know, it's coming out your nose. It's fucking disaster.
Dude,
We have that problem with ladybugs.
Oh yeah, but at least they're cute.
Yeah, but I mean, like swallowing them sucks.
No, I
took
could
my
imagine.
kid up to North Conway in New Hampshire. It's like this nice little. I don't want to say resort because it's New Hampshire, but it's like a nice town, and you can go skiing there in the winter, and in the summer there's rivers everywhere. Took my son up there in the fall because the foliage is beautiful, and we were going to go riding a train.
Fucking nerd.
And he was 3, dude. And he was super
So
into
you
Thomas the
can
Tank
remember
Engine.
the foliage.
So he's
Fucking
standing
butthole.
with me, and he's like, Dad, I swallowed a bug. And I'm like, don't eat bugs, man. What's wrong with you? And then like a couple seconds later, he does it again. And now I'm like, all right, do I need to take him to another school? Like, what do we got to do here?
One
And
with
then
more bugs.
Yeah,
for sure.
it happens a third time. So it happens a third time, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I look behind him, and the wall is just covered with ladybugs. And so they really are flying.
That's on you for
into
being
his
a
mouth.
neglectful parent. You should have noticed this shit right away.
I mean,
What's wrong
ladybugs are
with
not
you,
a
dude?
threat.
Yeah, they look.
Apparently they are to your kid. Apparently, kid's gonna fucking
guy.
die of ingesting.
It's fine now.
ladybugs.
He's got great grades. He's totally normal.
Oh yeah,
all right.
and great grades for Boston is like a D plus.
Yes.
All right. Well, with that all out of the way, I think we're coming up to the end of the episode. Ed, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I was a nervous wreck, if you can't tell by the name on the show,
nice.
before you came
Oh,
on.
yeah, you
Always
guys-
a shipwreck. So
You guys, wreck and roll over here, man. You guys are all wrecked.
So- So, I guess with that out of the way, Ed, do you want to plug anything you
Dude,
got going
Invasive Species, Ed Larson Tours, Florida. I'm coming, baby. March 20th, Jacksonville. 21st and 22nd, Panama City. I don't give a shit. They said stay away. I was like, fuck it. I'm going anyway. Beaches Comedy Club. And then I'm doing Tallahassee on March 23rd. That show's going to be with Danny Bedrosian of P-Funk.
Okay.
He's also he's for UNH fame. He used to have a band up there called Sweet Mother Child. I don't know if you guys saw them back in the day. But Danny's the keyboard player for Parliament Funkadelic. He's got his own band called Some Fierce. They're celebrating their anniversary. And this is also the same theater that used to be a gay club in Tallahassee called Brothers. Now it's called 926 Bar, but it's where Henry and I started comedy together. Henry Zabrowski.
Oh, very cool.
And so I get to return to the old stomping grounds and like really and do it up. So I'm so excited to go 926 Bar. That's gonna be on March 23rd. And then in May, I'm doing another tour in South Florida. I'm gonna be in Naples on May 6th. Dania Beach, which is Fort Lauderdale, on May 7th, and then Orlando on May 8th, and then May 9th, 10th, and 11th, Key West, baby. It's going to be wild. 3 nights in Key West.
3 nights. God
Yeah,
damn.
it's gonna
You're
be
going
wild.
real far south for the Key West show.
Dude, I
Yeah.
love Key West. It's fucking silly ass town, man. It is going to be. I'm going to be working out of a hole the entire time I'm there, but I don't give a shit. It's going to be so much fun.
whatever.
Yeah, that
Nice.
and Panama City, I think, are going to be the tough shows. But you're going to want to come check it out. And I heard there are animals in Naples as well, but I can't wait. These are my people. The one in Naples is at a fish fry restaurant called Off the Hook. Yeah, man. That was like my job in Florida for like 7 years. So I'm like ready to like hop on the line and cook some fish and then go yell at you fuckers. So come on out to any of these shows. Also, Dania Beach in Orlando is going to be with Henry Zabrowski, and we're going to do actual side story shows as well as my solo stand up.
I love that your tour schedule is that of like a crust punk band that has achieved some level of success, but like, nah, dude, we can't give up our roots. We have to play at a fish fry.
Oh my god! They're like, I don't think you want this place, and they like explained it to me. I was like, book that immediately.
Like, no. Yeah. This is exactly what I want. I need this shit in my life.
They're like, people.
I'm tired of playing. I'm tired of playing Palladiums. Like I need a pallet on the floor as my stage. Yes. That's what I need.
Yeah, they notoriously booed Sam Morrill off the stage, and I was like, you know what? I was like,
that's the place.
I think they're gonna love me for some reason, you know.
Well, you're their people. That's why. Like you are who they are.
Dude, this is a full Florida set. There's a reason I'm going to Florida. I have an hour of Florida material, and I'm going.
Well,
I'm
now
gonna go
you
burn
have about 20 minutes of more Florida material to make fun of them.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. This has been so much fun. Sarge, Dave, I'm glad I came on the show. Hopefully, y'all have me back in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope so.
And this was truly a blast. This is truly a blast.
Yeah. If people want to find you, where can they find you?
EddieTunes.com, baby, for all things Eddie Tunes. You know, I got all the last podcasts, all the high-end-based comedy is there, man. We got Eddie shows that I got going on. I got my Patreon. It's patreon.com/EddieTunes. It's mostly music-based, you know, not comedy, unfortunately. So if you're a big music head and you want to get down on what I'm throwing down, that's what's over there.
I am a music head, so
dude, come. I got the Eddie Tunes 2-hour radio hour. I like sent myself to DJ Fantasy Camp, and and even if you're a free member of the Patreon, you get to listen to most of the episodes. So make sure y'all check that out. Fucking
Well, I did make sure to wear my Black Dahlia Murder shirt just for
Thank you
because it's an amazing band, but also because I was a big fan of that series.
That was awesome.
It was good. It was really good. Sarge, is there anything you want to plug before we sign off? I know you got some stuff you got going on.
Unfortunately,
probably should have Sarge go first before Eddie.
No, I appreciate you letting me.
Eddie go again.
Yeah, I got more shit. You know?
I'll just switch out the audio. We'll figure it out. Anyway, Sarge, what do you got to plug?
The Sarge's Supernormal coloring book is unfortunately still a relevant thing because a very terrible person got reelected. So you can purchase that. It's $9.99 on Amazon. It's sargessupernormal.com. You can color, there's activities, or you could just, like roll it up and cook with it because fuel prices are very expensive. You can swat
love bugs with it. That's all if you really need to.
Yeah, man.
That's what it comes down to. It's like,
so go to sargessupernormal.com. It's don't get distracted. It's just a link to the Amazon, but it's easier to say than the Amazon link. And that's all I got.
Hell yeah, man. Right. That's awesome. One day you'll get to write in a book with words in it. And that'll be great.
No, not a good idea.
All right, if you guys want to follow us, it's at Cryptid Cocktail on Instagram. We got a Patreon. It's $3 a month if you just want to support the show. You get a shout out on the show. $7 a month if you want unedited video episodes of the show. That'll be $7 a month plus some extra goodies we'll throw in there as well. And with that out of the way, normally Sarge says goodbye and I love it to the audience, but Eddie, would you like to say goodbye and I love it to the audience?
Hey, everybody, goodbye, and I love you. Oh, you the kisses. Oh, yeah, we're throwing consent out the window. Let me see. Let me see you. Let me see your bottom. Oh, I'm going to suck the berries out your ass. Oh, you're so beautiful.
This was a mistake.
Thank you guys for having me on. This was a blast. Y'all are fucking awesome.